Welcome back to the 12 Feet of Christmas with Luke's. Today we're going to be talking about the ditch quilting foot. However, don't be confused. It's not just a stitch in the ditch foot, but let's start there. So we've got our foot installed. We see this little flange that goes right down the center, and what that allows us to do is to place that flange right between our two pieces of our quilt, and you can see the flange is going right between the pieces there. Keep us on track. All right, let me hit my scissors. And to do this quilting, this is where I was stitching. You can't see the stitching, and that's as it should be. That flange went right between those two pieces and put my sweet line of stitching, quilting it right between the pieces. So a nice nifty way to quilt using the stitch in the ditch foot. However, that's not all it does. So we are going to take a piece of fabric, and what we're going to do is we are going to do a little top stitching. So I'm going to raise my foot and place this underneath. Now, I've got my foot down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and move the needle right of that flange. I'm using my hand wheel to check. I want a little bit more. Okay, so this could be that I'm sewing a pocket on. This could be I'm sewing binding on a quilt. This could just be top stitching, but this flange is going to go right along the edge of my project. And when I do that, and I'm going to lower my stitch length to 2.5. Just a normal stitch. All right. Okay. Let me make sure I'm in the right position. Yep, that'll do. You can see that fold sliding right along that flange. All right, we're going to stop. I'm going to hit my scissors and check this out. So you can see the fold. Look at that beautiful top stitching right along the edge. So if you had binding on a quilt and you're folding that in, stitching right along there with a sweet little seam allowance. If you're top stitching, it does a great job. All because of this flange down the middle. We're going to look at a third use for our stitch in the ditch foot, and that is to attach ribbon to the side of a piece of fabric or a garment. So we're going to choose a quilting stitch. And in fact, the stitch I'm going to use is stitch number 28. And I'm going to position my ribbon on one side of the sweet flange and my fabric on the other. Let's drop our foot down into position and watch what happens. So I have them feeding separately on each side of the blade. A little bit further so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, let me hit my scissors. What a sweet and easy way to apply ribbon to the edge of a project. So that stitch goes and sews the ribbon on one side and the fabric on the other, perfectly straight, using our stitch in the ditch foot. So come into Luke's and pick one up today.